Hi, I'm Andy Tran. For the past few weeks, I've had the pleasure of speaking to the cast and crew of the YouTube series Switchblade, an exclusive interview. This is Switchblade, Under the Knife. What's your role in the making of Switchblade?
My role in the making of Switchblade was I was the actor who played the main character, Anthony Dinoso. And I was also the director and writer and cameraman in many instances.
My role in the making of Switchblade was that I play a character named Gianni Caduto. I'm a drug dealer, and my cousin is the main character, Anthony Dinoso. Basically, our roles together is basically we kind of go on back and forth about stuff. Like I'm basically like the dinky sidekick in the show in the series.
The character I played, his name was Kenny Takei, and he was a bodyguard to a Yakuza boss. I'll make this bastard pay. Oh, and I also I composed the music for Switchblade.
I play the main villain. That's revealed later on though. But it's a pretty big part for it, so it's cool.
Because of you, one of my best lieutenants is dead.
I played the villain's wife, who was just kind of mad at him because he was working and stuff.
Best actor in there. I was like a little gangster guy.
Oh, I was just a guy that gets stabbed. I was one of the henchmen, the crony, the guy no one cares about.
Just drinking a book.
How did you get into character?
Really? So far I haven't had to do much facial acting, so I haven't had to prep up for that too much, but just be mean, be arrogant, and be the boss.
I didn't really have much process when it came to getting in my character. It was more just go say this and be mad and walk out the door. Kind of pretty much just not laughing was all I had to prepare to do.
I don't. I'm always in character. I don't really put on another face, I just be me.
Well, I don't do drugs in real life, so I try to picture. I kind of try to picture how a crack addict would seem, but upon request, I kind of need to change how my character is. I kind of like to turn to the whole Jesse Pinkman kind of thing. Just try to keep it calm, cool, collective, and then when you're high, you seem a little tense.
Well, the problem with me, I'm a pretty bad actor, so a lot of people say I tend to sound monotone sometimes, so I really have to try to get some emotion into my voice and like try to sound serious or like try to sound intimidating, I guess.
I try to remember that first bit of the narration in the first episode where he mentions that like he kills people for money, because that has to like help. I just remember that to help me get into character. Like I have to become sort of that cold-blooded killer, that merciless mercenary in my mind, you know? You have to become the character.
Now, what was your favorite part of working on Switchblade?
The acting. The acting was always fun.
Just already having everybody like be friends and be cool or be related typically, so it was fun doing that with everybody.
I think it was not being bored.
It was pretty fun to try to be a part of it, actually being behind the scenes.
My favorite part working on Switchblade was probably, it's going to sound a little weird, but obviously all the filming that we did for it. The stuff that we did in like the back alleys, like my first scene in Switchblade from the first episode.
I only had to break 3 of his fingers before he cracked.
My first scene when we did in the back alley, just it was windy and just being out there and having a lot of people probably stare at us thinking we're a bunch of crazy people doing the crazy video. But it's part of the experience. And as a filmmaker, you just go with it. You go with whatever best fits. And and it's lucky I live in this kind of neighborhood that has those kind of places that make it look like it's like you can make it look like you live in the ghetto or you live in a bad part of town.
Well, I think it's probably that one part where I stabbed. I don't know the character's name, but Mr. Zulaga was playing him, but my favorite part was like when I ran up to him and stabbed him. Yeah, it was pretty fun.
My favorite part of working on Switchblade is just pretty much working with all the friends and family that we, grown making this. Just working with all those wonderful people.
Did you have any problem, so to speak, in the makings of Switchblade?
Not really. Except for the part where I said the F word and my parents watched the video. Kinda sucked.
In the filming, yes, there was a torture scene where Gabriel was just completely just being ridiculous, laughing at everything. It was just hard to film with him. We were just laughing too much.
Man! Cut this out. Retake.
The one scene we filmed, we had to have my son there, and so the director was trying to hold him and keep him quiet while he was filming at the same time.
Drunky?
Yeah, I guess the only problem I had was following scenes 6, 7.
Well, I remember being kind of lazy on the music. I was like procrastinating and but I eventually got to it, and yeah, it turned out pretty good.
I was late a few times. Every once in a while, I'm gonna be late coming to shoot, but in the end, it works out. So that's what matters.
We ran into quite a few problems actually. One of the bigger problems was a lack of people, a lack of crew. We were just high school kids going out and doing this, so a lot of the time we didn't actually have what was probably necessary to make a good series. Like a lot of the time we didn't have a cameraman, so we just kind of had to act and do what we were doing, and the camera would just be standing there in a tripod, and we'd have to check afterwards to see if it was any good. And we definitely had a lack of actors, and that's one of the few things that's keeping us from moving forward. There's not enough people.
Now, what was your favorite scene?
I like that. Oh yeah, I like that one part where Denoso and his cousin were chasing after this gangster, and then it was the gangster that Gabriel was playing.
When I was shooting against the wall, like across the wall, shooting, made my biceps really big.
He was shooting at us really, and we were able to get a hold of him.
They throw him on the floor and
They confronted each other and like started cussing at each other.
And him and I were going back and forth, saying, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
That was really funny.
it's funny, it's intense, and it's really, really well acted.
It was one of those things that we had to do over and over because I couldn't stop laughing.
My favorite scene would probably be where they had Gabriel's character tied up in the chair and he was all beat up, like that whole scene, and then when they killed him, that was
My favorite scene is probably the scene where the main character confronts Angelo Caduto, the mob boss.
Was the first big bad guy, the big guy.
And ends up killing him. That's probably my favorite scene.
What do you think of the music?
I think the music was pretty good because I made it.
Just wonderfully done. It goes so well with the tone of the story. It sets the mood quite well.
Good, original. I like it.
I liked it. It was original. It was something that, you didn't copy from another artist. So that was really
Kevin did it, so it's pretty good.
Well, better than most things I've heard, but the fact it's made by someone that Erik knows personally, I guess you don't have to worry about copyright problems that YouTube is infamous for right about now.
It's really just masterful.
I actually came up with a song from this one other song I composed earlier. It was like a heavy metal song, and I softened it up a little bit, like made it like all smooth.
It goes really well with the tone of the series. It's very glim. It's very deep and glim music. So I feel it fits really perfect with the series.
Will you be returning to work on Switchblade in the future?
Yes, I'm pretty sure there's a couple that I'll be in.
I hope so. That was fun.
Maybe, if I feel like it.
Let's see, future episodes. Maybe, maybe not. It's hard to say by this point. Erik gets a lot of people. He has tons of people, so it kind of makes me seem a bit redundant by this point.
Yes, I will. I'm looking forward to it.
If the writer and director want me to, I'll be there. I love being a part of it. It's such a fun thing to do, and whatever he needs me to be a part of, I'll be there.
Most definitely. I'm the guy who makes this. There wouldn't be Switchblade without me, so I'm definitely going to be doing this. Keep acting in it, no doubt.
Did you find anything about Switchblade to be unique?
Everything is different. It's completely different. I like the black and white. I like the music. I like the characters. I like everything, how it's going, the script. It's all good to me. I like it.
It's a good storyline. Each character's different, so.
I was thinking we pull together our resources and figure out what's happening.
The way you talk about things, sounds like you already know.
It's more unique. It stands out, even though it could use more publicity.
Well, it's been a while since I've seen movies or videos about that are related to Switchblade. It's like about crime and it's like a good one.
I can tell you that it's something you don't really see a lot, especially from young filmmakers nowadays. I love the tone of it. It's very gritty. It's very dark, and I love how it's it's practically an original idea. I haven't seen anything like this come out, so it's something that you can tell that the writer and director when we really thought about this.
No, not exactly. Switchblade is pretty much all unique, I think. Except for we didn't really take any elements from much else. It's a noir crime drama created by a bunch of high school students with a shitty little camera and no acting experience. And then we asked our friends and family and teachers to help us with it, and they did. And we ended up making something that everybody likes.
And there you have it, an in-depth exclusive interview with the cast and crew of Switchblade. I'm Andy Tran, and this has been Switchblade, Under the Knife, and I hope to see more in the future.